you for tuning in to Exeter TV. The meeting will be starting shortly. While we wait, let's learn more about Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Bi-Weekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. The meeting will be starting shortly. While we wait, let's learn more about Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter.
September 15th, 2021 meeting of the Water and Sewer Advisory Committee to the Town Board of Selectmen in the town of Exeter, New Hampshire. My name is Bob Kelly. I'm the chair of the committee. With me this evening are Carl Wickstrom and Select Board Representative Molly Cowan. We will start off by talking about the water and sewer abatement requests, and we will, I guess there's 5 or 6 requests, so I will, whoever is on, we will take them first. So, ma'am, you had, looks like you were here first. Are you representing 17 Wentworth? Are they unmuted? Are we unmuted? Are you representing 17 Wentworth?
Doesn't look like.
Well,
Can we?
well, let's just proceed, and then they can figure out.
Oh boy.
Get rid of that. So the first abatement request that we have is for Kimberly Meyer at 17 Wentworth Street. Can they hear us? Sorry, we're having some Zoom cross-pollination issues here. But anyway, we'll continue. So they had, there evidently had been just some issues with a sump pump at their house, and they have reportedly fixed it. Looks pretty straightforward.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you with
I
17
can.
Wentworth?
Can you hear the meeting though?
No, I think they're muted.
Okay. I was told you could hear everybody in the meeting, but I didn't know if I was turned off.
How about now? Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay. We're getting some feedback in the room, but we'll have to deal with that. So we're talking about 17 Wentworth Street right now. Are either of you representing them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Why don't we vote on this one real quick? Either of you have any comments or discussion about 17 Wentworth?
I was only a little confused about the sump pump drawing water. Some mention of reverse osmosis. Is this one that has reverse osmosis?
Yeah, it did, but it sounds like they fixed it though.
Okay. Seems a little odd to me. The sump pump would draw water, but it must be some fancy pump.
Right. This would seem to fall under the criteria of an 80% abatement of excess water and sewer.
Okay.
Or were you thinking maybe of something else?
No. 8% is fine. I mean, it's either going to be half or 80.
Right. Well, some pumps are one of those things I feel that it's not easy to figure out if there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because they're sort of tucked away, so give them a little bit of the benefit of a doubt is what I was thinking.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Does that seem reasonable, Molly?
It's fine with me.
Right. Okay, I will move that we abate 80% of the excess water and sewer billing of $196 from the bill for the 17 Wentworth Street account.
I second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we will abate their bill $196. Thank you.
Who did they say wasn't coming?
I don't know. I don't know who of you were here first.
Resident.
Maybe one of you raise your hand. I'm trying to deal with two screens here. So, sir, I guess you're up on the big screen. So, which account are you representing?
Is that, I was not here first.
No, he's not. Are you muted on your end?
Hi, I don't know if you're asking me. I can't see what's on your screen. I believe I was the third person to join, and mine is 55 High Street.
I'm 1 Hampton Road.
We're still working on some of the logistics here. Sorry.
No problem.
We can't hear you.
Oh, I'm 1 Rockingham Street for Exeter Station property.
We had audio and then we.
Hi, can people hear me on Zoom too?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. So I'm gonna need somebody. Hi, Bob.
We're trying to get some technical difficulties worked out. I don't know why are we.
Okay.
Oh, he's X'd us out.
It was literally just working.
It was. Can any of you at home on Zoom, can any of you hear me? It doesn't appear so.
We can
I
hear
can.
you.
Yep.
Yes,
We can hear you, but I can't.
Okay, we can't hear you. We're working through some technical
difficulties.
difficulties. It says that we're unmuted, but obviously we're not. So just bear with us. I'm trying to, just by looking at the names.
Can you guys ask if anybody on Zoom has a TV or another computer on while they're on Zoom?
Okay.
If they do, it's going to create a feedback loop. It's going to just.
Evidently, do any of you have a TV on in close proximity to your? No, they're all shaking their heads no. There was a feedback loop thing where I love technology.
That feels like it's made up.
Yes. So the next one on our list is Banks Rock LLC. So is whoever's, so that would be you, right? Okay. That is 1 Hampton Road. We won't get into any kind of vote or discussion. Well, we may start discussion, but we'll get your feedback here eventually. Hopefully
Okay, that's fine.
they'll get things fixed.
It just looked like this when their leak went over from one quarter to the next. That's why there's 2 periods.
Well, and maybe we can work using sign language here. So our understanding, and we had tabled this request earlier because we did not feel like we had enough information. The usage had gone down, but not back down to your normal levels.
Exactly.
And then it sounds like, or it looks like there was some additional maintenance issues and another toilet. Now this is at Hampton Road. I mean, so do you have a facilities manager there or a property manager?
I have a
Yeah,
part-time facilities guy.
This is really weird. I don't know why they can't hear us.
They hear us. We can't hear them, I think.
Yeah, he's got us on mute. I don't know why. Can you go ask him, tell him that he's got us on mute and to unmute us?
You have us on mute. According to Bob, you have us on mute.
Me, Bob.
There's only one of us. I'm not on this thing, so.
Okay.
Should I
It
get
shows us as being unmuted.
That computer is supposed to be muted.
All right.
That computer is supposed to be fed into the speaker system so everybody can hear that.
Okay.
And then your individual microphones are all on.
Right. They can hear us.
They can hear.
We just can't hear them.
Okay.
And they're all unmuted, they say.
Okay.
Can we have, like, can somebody call my cell phone and we'll just have her talk through it?
Right.
Good idea.
Can
That's
we
good.
give you our phone number and each time you just call in and we'll put you on speakerphone?
It's better. That's a workaround.
Bob, do you want to use your phone?
Sure. What, can you call this number?
I don't think he's going to be able to.
Dave, can you bring me my phone?
The cameras are these cameras. I think you're going
So
to.
just call my cell phone. It's 603-396-4108.
Okay, I have to go get my phone.
Just call that and we'll talk to you on speakerphone.
I'm sorry, what was that number?
Yeah, it was working just a second ago.
The phone number is 396-4108.
And are we supposed to call in at our time, or are we just waiting here to tell us to call you?
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, this is Sally.
Sally, how are you? Good. We may still get some feedback, but at least
Yeah,
we'll be able to
you're probably
communicate.
going to get feedback with that. She may want to mute. I don't know.
So our understanding is that you had a problem earlier in the year. It was sort of fixed and the water usage went way down, but then maintenance checked the building and there was another toilet malfunctioning. And then this has been repaired.
Yeah, we've actually replaced 2 toilets. We've replaced some flushometers. We've done everything. We've replaced the meter. That was the first thing. The water department did that. And every time we'd seem to think we had a handle on it. We had one toilet that was flushing for like 5 minutes, which nobody had told us about. It was in just a bathroom in the ladies' room, not quite that long. So we thought we had it under control, but from what the records are showing, we have a continuous leak and have not been able to find it. Our next plan of attack is to try and shut the building down on a Sunday. We have a lot of labs, so there's people in there a lot.
Right.
And we're going to try to isolate the floors, see if we can hear something, because we just have not been able to find it.
I mean, the upshot of it is we would probably be inclined to abate some of it. Just because it was an accidental discharge through no fault and you are diligently trying to fix it. The issue becomes if there's still work to be done, we should probably wait until the end.
Yeah. I mean,
Because you don't get a second, it's a 10-year waiting period for another abatement.
right. Yeah. So I mean, whatever. I don't know if we're able to abate the first bill. I know we have the second quarter. I just got the third quarter, and that one is double what it normally was. And like I said, it'll probably be 2 or 3 weeks before we can do the testing on a Sunday to see if we can find it. One plumber believes it might be coming from the floor drain, which we hadn't heard of.
Right.
So we're still searching for it, but I mean, I'm fine if you want to wait till the next, meeting or whatever.
Well, I don't know exactly when that's going to be. We're also in the process of doing budget season now, so the next meeting probably won't be toward the end of the year. So I'd like to get you some relief. And then we'll work it out with the billing department that if there's an additional situation we have to deal with, then we'll figure that out.
Okay, so we still have the
We'll keep
possibility of abating the next bills?
We'll keep the file open.
Okay,
This
all right.
isn't like another, this isn't going to be like another abatement request. It's part of the same one. But
Okay.
I mean, if that's okay with you two, I'd like
No, that's fine. I'm just, the bills are sky high, so trying to get some relief on those would be great.
Is there a way in the short term you can turn off parts of the service so that it's not, can they at least isolate like where it is roughly?
No, that's the thing. We have not been able to even find out what floor it's on. So we have 3 floors. And one of them is Aurora Diagnostics, which is a lab that pretty much runs 24/7. They're even in on Sundays. So that's why we're going to try to go in on a Sunday when we can shut them down and just try to see if we can find out if it's coming from their floor or where it is.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your diligence in trying to fix it. In the short term, I guess I would recommend that we provide do a half abatement. They sort of buy in on half, and we buy in on half. Is that? Did you?
That sounds great.
Well, and so we would leave it open somehow.
And we would leave it open. I would communicate with the water and sewer folks that this is a partial abatement and that there may be another, let's say, a third abatement once you get the problem totally fixed. But since this has been going on for a while, we want to at least give you some interim relief.
Right. And one of the things was because COVID, there weren't as many people in the building during COVID, so we weren't sure if the usage was just normal. But you can see on the reports that we have that continuous leak that we just can't find it.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate that.
At some point, you're going to need to really take. Sort of figure that out.
Yes.
Or your threshold is going to be higher, and we'll just say, we're done.
Yeah, given that it is going to be a while before our next meeting, if the issue is not resolved by then, we're going to be.
Then we'll probably have to close
the hearing. Is your argument's going to fall on deaf ears if you haven't got it fixed by then?
Right.
That's in these deaf ears anyway. I don't know about the other.
Yeah, I would agree. So. Lost it. So we're looking at for the first bill, we're looking at an abatement of $1,598.58. And then the second bill, did not give us, there it is, $1,940.34.
Okay.
So that's roughly $3,500 or so.
Okay.
And we'll get the exact amount, and they'll communicate with you on that. But that's what we would do here in the short term.
Okay, and then once we hopefully can isolate it and find out what the problem is, should I just get a hold of the ladies in the office that I've been emailing with Shirley and Desiree? Is that?
Yes.
And I don't need to talk to Ed.
No, tell them that you talked to us, and what is your name?
Oh, my name is Sally Leary.
V-E-R?
L-E-A-R-Y.
Leary, not Veery.
Yeah, Leary, like Old Leary with no O.
Got it. Okay, just so I know if they email me for corroboration. So, all right, so we'll. I would make a motion that we do those two amounts as an interim abatement, and then we'll keep the file open to see how their refurbishment goes, and then we'll hope for the best.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Great. Thank you for calling in and bearing with us.
Oh, no problem. Good luck with your technical difficulties.
Yeah, take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
3 more.
So the next one is retail business services.
And the address.
137 Portsmouth
Or retail business services. So I would ask you to, they haven't fixed things yet. So again, call my cell, 603-396, there you go.
I think that's it.
Right on the ball.
Well, I try to be.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. It's Roger.
I'm Bob Kelly, the chair of the committee, and you are representing retail business services, presumably?
That's correct. We manage that Hannaford Center out there, 137 Portsmouth Ave.
And what is your name?
Roger Tyler, Tyler.
Excellent. Thank you. You're the facilities manager or the property manager?
Exactly.
Excellent. Thank you.
Oh, this is one that goes over 2 periods.
Okay, so just to. So I was a little bit confused, and hopefully you can walk us through. It looks like you determined that the usage in the vacant retail unit was related to construction in an adjoining unit. So could you sort of walk us through what exactly happened?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know exactly what happened. The usage was in the former Olympia Sports, and the construction was going on in the adjoining space, which is now the Jersey Mike's. And we had given the contractor access to the Olympia Sports space because they were going in and out, looking at different water pipes. And at one point, when they were cutting their floor, they had used a lot of water, which had come into the Olympia Sports space. So we just said, listen, here's the key. You guys go in, do what you need to do. And at some point during the construction project, we believe that one of the toilets, I think the flapper lifted and it just ran. And it's a vacancy, so we're only in there once a month. When we did get in there, which was on June 1st, I think we got the notice on I think we got the notice that we had a high water usage on 5/25. My maintenance guy was in there on 6/1. He could see that somebody had worked on the flapper, but when he went in there, there was no running water. So we just assumed it either self-corrected or maybe one of the guys from Jersey Mike's came in there and said, Jesus, this thing's running away. There's a lot of water being used. So he made an adjustment to it, but it was clearly a big mistake. In hindsight, I probably would not have given them access to that space. But it's been corrected, the flapper's been changed, and the water's been shut off to the space.
Okay, the water's been shut off to the space. Dude, I see that the usage went down in July considerably.
Yeah.
Do we know that it's been fixed? Or is it because with the water off, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's been fixed?
Yeah, he had gone ahead and replaced both those toilet flappers.
Okay.
So we think it's been fixed.
Okay.
Is there any, you say construction in an adjoining unit, is there any way to talk to the construction company and get them to be sort of part of this settlement, if you will?
No, they're going to deny it. I know they are. They had a tough time building out Jersey Mike's. The job didn't go very well. And I can't directly point my fingers at them. I can only point the finger at myself for allowing them access into it and so forth. But clearly it was that toilet that was running.
And it has been fixed.
It's been fixed, and I think we're just dropped down to nothing.
Okay.
I do want to make a quick note, because on the notice that we received from Town of Exeter Water and Sewer, we had gotten notice of the high use on 5/25. the letter from the town of Exeter noted that the repair was made on 6/22. And the note on that is that the invoice date from the plumber was dated 6/22.
Oh,
But the repair was made on 6/1.
right.
So as soon as we got notice, we were there pretty quickly, shutting everything down.
Okay, thank you. I would say this would again fall under the 50%.
Okay.
I would,
both periods.
how does that sound, Molly? I would move that,
Like,
excuse me, can you mute the Zoom part of it since?
No,
Mute your phone.
Oh. Well, we'll work through it. So our records would show that we would be inclined to abate half of the excess water and sewer usage for that first quarter period of $1,470.94, as well as half the excess water and sewer usage for the next quarter of $246.98. So basically, sort of meeting you halfway.
I think that would work. I think that's fine. Our mistake, so anything you can do is greatly appreciated.
Okay.
So I'll make the motion that we do that amount.
Okay.
The sum of $470.94 and $246.98.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's a vote. You'll be getting a notice from the town that we will provide that partial abatement for you.
Terrific. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And I have them listed by address.
Right.
So,
Yeah, 137.
yeah, thanks.
So I see Exeter Station is one Rocky. So the 4 Finney Lane people are not on.
Okay.
Are the folks with Exeter Station? Yes, they're Exeter Station and Mike Vogelaris.
Pretty good.
So we have you as second. Do you mind, just bearing with us real quick to speak with the folks from Exeter Station?
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be all right. So if you could just call my, I don't know if you got it before.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
My name is Jackie Phillips. I'm with Exeter Station Properties and the admin assistant. So actually,
Did you say Jackie?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
It's actually just spoke with the owner of Exeter Station. We may want to withdraw, because from my understanding, so you can only apply for an abatement once every 10 years. Is that
Correct.
Correct. So we're just thinking maybe if something way worse happens at some point, we may want to kind of save that.
Well, we do give that option to people. Because it's not very much. What you're asking for is not very much at all.
Right. And I said it's an old building, so, something could happen at some point, in 10 years where it could be much more expensive. So, but I guess I just one question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
On the application, I could have sworn I read that only 500 of it could be abated or something like that.
That was the old. That was the old policy. We revised the policy during COVID, but we're continuing it to be a little bit more expansive in our analysis.
Okay, so then do you think that at some point you'll go back to only 500, or do you think that this is?
It's hard to say. I doubt we would be that draconian in the future. We may set a floor, or a ceiling at some point. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think for the amount you're talking about, it's not a bad
idea to maybe wait.
Withdraw for now.
I mean, we would have had, I think, some questions anyway. Because our notes say that there were some issues with toilets, in quotes. I don't know really what that means. Exactly.
Yeah, there was a running toilet in the building, and it is a pretty large building. I think we didn't get notified right away, and Shirley and Desiree at the office are awesome. They're great to work with. Yep. But we had a brewery come into the building, and even though they did get their own meter, they I think Desiree thought that it was the brewery that was using the excess water, and so the started running in like April, and we didn't get notice until June. So it's just like, we had no idea for a couple months that the problem was happening.
So was the toilet?
As soon as we knew, we took care of it.
Was the toilet in like a back area, or was it?
Yeah, it's not an area that's necessarily frequented by. There's a couple tenants back there. They didn't notice it, but it's not an area that's frequented by like ESP management or maintenance guy. He'll walk through there, but unless he's doing something there, he's not.
Is water and sewer? I'm assuming water and sewer is your guys, the owner's responsibility, not the tenants.
Correct.
Okay.
Except for the separate meter that was put in for the brewery. The brewery is paying that direct now. Yeah.
I mean, going forward,
as the rates have jumped quite a bit because of some capital projects that we've undertaken in the last few years.
Yeah.
So it's more of a big deal if you use excess water, and especially if you're not there, but you're still responsible for the usage, it may be worth working out something with the tenants so they at least understand what the stakes are.
Yeah, no, I understand that for sure. Yeah, no, and I think, if we had gotten, because even in April, it had jumped up quite a bit. I think, if we had gotten notice, then, as soon as we did get notice, we took care of it. But so, in the future, if we, get noticed early enough, then, we can take care of the problem before it,
Go ahead.
Question. I noticed that your usage fell down in July to what it was back in April.
Right.
Not down to as low as it was prior to that day. In fact, higher.
Okay.
Do you have any explanation for that? Do you have another tenant on the line that came on?
Not necessarily, except for I guess when I was looking at the packet I sent over, so that there were 2 accounts affected, and one being the new meter that was put in for the brewery. So I don't know, is there still maybe some common usage going on or something like that? I don't, I was a little confused as to
I just hope that all the leaks are fixed, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, it should be, but I can have us, taking a look and make sure that there isn't something else going on, but
that's what it was in March, even in July, after you supposed everything fixed.
Right. Went down quite a bit from June, but we certainly can double check just to make sure. We definitely don't want to.
I mean, right now your abatement would probably be in the order of $800. Not insignificant, but that would be for the 2 different quarters. So I mean, it's up to you if you want to wait. Hopefully, you get things fixed, then you won't have any issues.
Yeah, I think it is fixed, but I said, well, we can double check, make sure there isn't something else going on. So if we hold off just maybe until the next meeting, or withdraw, that would be okay. I appreciate that.
I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's a year.
A year.
I think it's a year, but I mean, why don't you just circle back toward the end of this year?
Yeah, if they want to pursue it.
We'll have a meeting in November.
And so, if you want, we'll table your request, and then you can reassess. Certainly reapply in November if you'd like.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for bearing with us. Talk to you later, Jackie.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Marley. Okay. So presumably you're Michael.
Yes, sir.
If you would do me a favor, they haven't gotten things fixed yet. So if you could call my cell.
Okay, I'm calling you right now.
603-396-4108.
All right, thank you.
And if you tell people to mute while we're talking, it'll cut down on that feedback, but
Mute their phone.
yeah.
I'm not going to shut down the seat to fix this because everyone moves on those.
Right.
So,
Yeah, there's one.
no Zoom will
Tomorrow.
Okay. Hey, how you doing, Michael?
Good, thank you.
Bob
Kelly here, the chair, and you can hear us, but we can't, unfortunately.
Bob, I heard your name and then didn't hear anything after that. I don't know if you cut out.
Yeah, well, the phone, we were trying to stretch it over a distance here. So, so why don't you give us a quick overview? It was you had an irrigation malfunction, is my understanding.
Yeah, so I sent in an original thing and I sent in something today because the irrigation came out yesterday. What basically happened was we have an old system. It doesn't have a rain sensor. There were 2 broken heads. But more than anything, whenever there's a power surge, apparently it resets to 6-hour intervals. And we were out of town for 6 weeks. So we came back to the bill, we had the notice, which I think was generated at the end of June. We got back July 18th. Immediately, turned off the irrigation just because we were trying to solve everything. We checked every toilet, we did everything. So our solution's pretty simple. We fixed the heads. We are installing, you guys probably know the terminology better than I am, but we're replacing the system with one that we can control remotely. That monitors weather on its own through the app, and we can, at any point, we'll get alerts if it's doing anything it shouldn't be doing. And we're installing a rain sensor as well. So I believe between the rain sensor, the new system, which we can control remotely, and the corrected the 2 heads that were broken, plus I don't imagine we'll ever leave our home for that period of time. It was a very rare occurrence that we needed to do that. I believe it's mitigated. If you look at the day we got back, I think we dropped to about, I think we were averaging about 100 gallons a day, down from thousands and thousands. So I can't say that, can't blame anyone for this. It's a relatively new home to us, and clearly there was an irrigation issue, and I feel like we mitigated it quickly, but we certainly, as I said in my letter, we're as upset about the bill as we are that we wasted that water.
Right. Well, I appreciate you jumping on it, and it does sound like it was somewhat complicated. So kudos for trying to work through it. Carl?
I do feel confident, like I said, that it would be almost impossible to happen again. It's under control, and we're not going to turn the sprinklers on again until we have this new system, which we can get done within about a week.
So this is all sprinkler related, exterior. So any water that was used soaked into the ground. There was nothing in the house, no piping or anything like that may have gone to a drain. Is that correct?
Correct, 100%. There was no leak in the house. There was no, we tested, like if we turned everything off in the house, we weren't running anything. There was no water running. The toilets weren't running. So based on the folks from the city who came out and the irrigation guy, and just the charts very much look like it's all about the sprinklers.
Right. So in this case,
I wish there was a way to, it's not calculated.
Right, we're gonna have to sort of muscle through it. Correct. So there is a line that says full abatement of excess sewer, which is the 4,900. So presumably the delta between the full abatement of sewer and the full abatement of excess water and sewer is about $2,800. And half doesn't seem to make sense, because a half abatement of the excess, I mean, because I think what we would want, in my mind, we would grant a half abatement on the excess water. Sort of meet them halfway, but a full abatement on the excess sewer, since you didn't use the sewer services.
Okay, that's what I would like to do.
But
It's an easy way to calculate.
I don't either, because they don't show half. So what we
We can do the math.
we can sort of figure it out. It almost looks like it's going to be probably somewhere in the order of $6,000.
Thanks, Carl.
So it's,
We're just trying to figure out what we're thinking while we calculate it through. We would probably provide you with a full abatement on the excess sewer usage, since you didn't use the sewer.
Yeah.
The water just went to the ground, so there's no reason for you to pay that service. And then we would provide you a half abatement of the excess water that you used. Basically, it is on your property, and ideally, according to the policy, you are responsible for everything on your property, but we'll meet you halfway on that, since it was an accident, you didn't do anything on purpose, and you jumped right on it to fix it. So we're just trying to figure.
So the full abatement of excess sewer is 4,910.
Correct.
And then the half abatement of excess sewer, that's just sewer.
Yeah, we don't have
I
half.
just did the math on that, and when you add half of the water plus all of the sewer, I come up with $6,300, 63,1192, rounding up.
And so that leaves the bill at
What was it? 63.
$2,000 still.
$6,311.92.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, well, you guys are being very generous.
I mean,
You're being very generous. It's still it's a very high bill, obviously, but I appreciate anything you guys are willing to do.
I mean, again, we for years, decades actually, we had a policy where everything inside of the meter was the homeowner's responsibility, no questions asked, which in reality it is. Now, understanding, of course, that not everybody is a mechanical engineer and has intimate knowledge of their plumbing and discharge system in their house, and we get that. So we're trying to be a little bit more conciliatory in how we assess this. But again, some of it is something that that is truly your responsibility. So we're trying to meet you halfway. We're actually sort of meeting you 3/4 of the way, actually. So
absolutely. Again, I want to reiterate, you guys are being very generous and kind. And we will find a way to pay for that, as well as the improvements needed to prevent it from happening.
And feel free to certainly reach out when and I will mention this in our note, that you can get a payment plan, and there's no limits. No reasonable limit. So if it takes you a year or so to pay off the excess, that's fine. You can just
one more thing,
sure.
Please, can you tell, based on what you have in front of you, whether my next bill may be impacted from this issue, or did the issue, we can see that the issue is corrected. Was it corrected so that my next bill won't have an issue?
August usage. What?
July 11th. So
you're probably in your third quarter billing, and if it's dropped off, so your next billing will probably be October 1st, because we're showing that it dropped off, which means it's been read.
So my next bill will be for what, mid-August till mid-September?
Probably October. Yeah. You're probably in District 2. We have 3 districts in town, and so each quarter is billed, so offset by a month. So it's not a true quarter. Not everybody's billed January through March, April through June, and all that. So everybody's offset by a month. And it sounds like you're probably offset by a month. 1 month, which means you're in District 2. And so,
which I believe means this bill went through mid-August.
Yeah, I think you're out of it.
right. So it would seem like you're out of it.
Like we got back mid-July, so as long as I have it fixed, I should be back to.
You should be.
Planet Earth for bills.
Correct. And if there is a problem with it, and that's what it can be, then certainly, way back in, and we'll do the analysis. But I think we're fine.
Okay. So again, thank you so much for being so kind and generous. Will I get an official statement that tells me down to the penny what I owe from this, or did I need to?
Yes, you will. There'll be a letter saying that the Water and Sewer Advisory Committee, well, we'll vote on it, but we agreed to abate $6,311.92 from your bill, and they'll tell you what the balance is. And then you can feel free to ask for a payment plan.
Okay. Again, thank you very much.
Okay, so
I'll make a motion that we abate $6,311.92 from this bill.
I will second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Is everybody off of Zoom except us and whoever might?
Yes, I think we've been off for Zoom. We've been off for Zoom for a while.
We have advertising local languages, we should not take that down.
Okay.
Did we do
everything? I thought we had one more.
We do have one more. We do. I was just,
Is that person still there?
I don't think they ever were there. I don't think Finney Lane weighed in. So this is just us. Find this. It's up. So this is a. Again, I gotta tell the girls to expand their discussion. You found issues with the upstairs toilet. I'm assuming that means it was faulty. They fixed it. And it appears like the usage is returned to normal.
Yeah. About March 8th to about March 29th was the leaking time.
I mean, unless there's a description that says that the toilet was in a remote part of the house or a part of the house that doesn't get used or whatever, I mean, you can hear a running toilet generally. So I would characterize this as the category of half excess usage abatement, because without further description, it would seem like it's part of their normal household. I mean, I'm certainly willing to be outvoted to go to the 80%, but it would seem like a toilet is something that should be heard and dealt with on a fairly reasonable basis, unless there's some discussion of infirmity or something like that, which I don't see. Right. There's no discussion in there write-up about what it might be. So I would move that we abate half the excess water and sewer, $807.24. Is that sound reasonable?
That's fine.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed. Okay, we will notify the folks at 4 Finney Lane that they will receive an $807.42 abatement. Since it's just the three of us, I will rapidly go through the rest of the agenda. Thank you for bearing with. Just a quick note from Jennifer about operations at the wastewater plant. They're continuing to get their costs, chemical usage and things like that under control. So it seems like the costs for the operation are actually less than what the engineers had forecast a couple of years ago. Some things have gone up, but a lot of things like chemical usage and pump usage and things like that are actually less than what they had originally.
It's the usage, not the actual expense.
Right. And then on the financial reports, you saw those as, we'll say, again, for the record, the high sewer fund is because we do have that roughly $4 million payment at the end of every year for the wastewater plant. So we sort of stockpile money, and then the coffers go relatively dry in January. So that's why those are high. But other than that, the financial status looks good. The rates that we implemented earlier in the year have done well to stabilize the cash flow. There were a handful, not a lot, but some questions and surprises about the rates. And one in particular, they were sort of frustrated by it, I think. But Russ had authorized that we actually send out the PowerPoint presentation that he put together for us and post that on, what's that?
In the mail?
No, email it to the people who have questions. No, he or at least made it available for the women at the billing department to describe. This is what went into the new bills. So I haven't heard anything more about that. Again, there was one person who was very upset. The others were sort of more surprised than anything else. So that seems to be okay. Budget season starts at the end of this month. Water and sewer do not have any major projects for the time being. The siphons we did get, $600,000? I can't remember now.
It was something like that.
We did get around a $600,000 grant through Chris Pappas' office to offset that. So they think that we should be, with the time lapse and everything else, that we should be able to pay for that based on what we allocated before.
That gives us like 1.6 million.
Right. And so between what the cost is, the lag of raising more revenue with the new rates and this grant, we should not have to ask for extra money. Is sort of what the feeling is right now. Obviously TBD, but that's the way it seems. So right now, on a preliminary basis, without the BRC looking at it, we on the water side, we're going to do continued assessment for a new surface/groundwater expansion facilities over the next several years. Requesting $250,000 for that. And then the West Side Drive, water and sewer and drainage improvements, the water funds portion of that is about $192,000. And then some ongoing facility design requests for the new DPW garage. And then on sewer, the only requests are the garage, West Side Drive allocation, and then there is a Great Bay intermunicipal testing program that is being reviewed by all of the communities abutting Great Bay to the tune of $300,000, which basically keeps us from having to do significant permit. If we buy into the testing and reporting, then we don't have to revise our permit and do more onerous testing. They sort of give us a buy, but it is $300,000 a year.
$300,000 is our portion of that?
That's our portion of it. Actually, it will go up to about $500,000. But and again, this is subject to discussion by the BRC, but that's what the request is. So that is that. As I mentioned, the BRC is meeting pretty intensively, which I am on that, and Molly is part of that as well as Mark Fabian. So
We probably won't meet until the end of November, or middle of November next, and possibly December. We've got to see how the budget committee season goes, if it, as it were. So
I have a very busy travel schedule this fall. So
do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe we can push it off till December.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think things will loosen up certainly on our end, and that might work better anyway. But so it'll either be November or December, and we'll sort of review everybody's schedule. So any other questions?
No.
Issues? Thank you for coming out on what is probably now a really nasty night.
We will send it like a week advance notice on this.
Yeah, I'll try to give you a little bit more notice.
I didn't respond to you about, and then I just didn't. But yes, it was on my calendar. It's hard to get down here because the
boys come home from school and then cook and then.
Meeting adjourned. Not that there is. Yeah,
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.